Hello, welcome to Camisado. I am Jitendra Singh. Today I will discuss one of the most important issues of India's foreign policy, that is called the policy of de-hyphenation. The policy of de-hyphenation in the last couple of years has become one of the most important policy initiatives, which has been largely successful to sort out some of the most intricate and complex issues of India's foreign policy vis-a-vis several countries of the world. As you must be seeing here, the policy of de-hyphenation. Before, if I attempt to define what exactly is the meaning of the policy of de-hyphenation, or what does it imply in a practical sense. So first of all, let me tell you that before understanding or defining the term what exactly is the policy of de-hyphenation, we will have to understand its predecessor policy, called the policy of hyphenation, the policy which preceded the policy of de-hyphenation. In order to if we talk about policy hyphenation, first of all we will have to understand or we'll have to know the meaning, literal meaning of a word, English word hyphenate. Then it will be far easier to understand. Hyphenate, if I go roughly by the literal meaning of the hyphenate means whenever two distinct objective or individual or phenomena, whenever they are linked or joined together, through a sign called hyphen in English language. So that roughly means hyphenation. Whenever two distinct, having two characters or in phenomena having different or individual characteristics, whenever they are joined together or linked together, so this is called hyphenate. But if we go by the meaning of hyphenation, especially in the context of foreign policy, the meaning is slightly different, and that we will have to understand through some specific or some example. For example, as we know that in international relations, any country has to maintain or forge its relationship with various countries at the same time. Okay, for instance, take India. India has to maintain its relationship with various countries at the same time. Take for instance United States of America, being a superpower, it has to maintain its relationship with various countries of the world. So take for example here United States of America. It has its relations with India and Pakistan, and so far as its relations with India and Pakistan is concerned, it goes back to the more than 7 decades since at least since the beginning, since our independence in 1947. But as we know that there are two important facts to understand here. First, the inimical relationship between India and Pakistan. Since more than 7 decades, both countries are at loggerheads or do not enjoy a good relationship. This is a well-known fact. Apart from that, in US and Pakistan, in US and Pakistan enjoy a very cordial and close relationship. Okay, and Pakistan being an important ally from the beginning of the Cold War era, and even after that, has always played a very important role so far as the US national interest is concerned, keeping in mind its strategic location and various other factors which favored US national interest. But if we talk, I am talking here especially in a pre-2000 phase, when United States of America and Pakistan enjoyed a very close and cordial relationship, very smooth relationship. But on the other hand, India did not enjoy that much level of relationship with the United States of America, and there were some here and there some irritants also in our relationship. Our relationship was not that much smooth. But whenever it comes to the foreign policy initiatives or foreign policy response towards India by the US, it's the foreign policy response of United States of America towards India was always guided by two factors in a pre-2000 phase. I would again repeat. First, the inimical relationship between between India and Pakistan, and US Pakistan smooth and cordial relations. These two factors always played a very important role so far as US foreign policy response towards India was concerned, because Pakistan, being an important ally or friend of United States of America, always played an important role for US foreign policy. But India, which did not figure that much important in US foreign policy calculations or UN and US strategic calculations, always found itself at the receiving end while getting treatment, while dealing with, I would say, with United States of America. Now, keeping in view Pakistan's strategic importance for United States of America, US never treated India and Pakistan in an independent manner or based on individual merits, therefore followed the policy of hyphenation. But in the post-2000 scenario, US leadership was compelled to review their policy of hyphenation towards India and Pakistan because of certain reasons. One of them was India's growing stature as a major economic and military power. Apart from that, India as a potential market for American products and multinational companies. And one more important thing which played a very crucial role so far as the discarding of policy of hyphenation towards India and Pakistan is concerned was especially in the aftermath of 9/11, India became US came to realize about the menace of terrorism and found India as a very important ally insofar as the fight against terrorism is concerned. So India, especially when in 2004, when George W. Bush assumed the presidency of United States of America, US decided to follow the policy of de-hyphenation, though informally the policy had started long back, but it was the leadership of the George W. Bush was very crucial so far as the beginning of the policy of de-hyphenation is concerned. And under his leadership, the US decided to discard the policy of hyphenation, and under the policy of de-hyphenation, now this policy sent the message or conveyed that now onwards the India and US relationship will not be affected by its relationship with Pakistan. So if I discuss about the implementation or the pursuance of this policy by India, India has been largely successful in implementing this policy and securing its national interest vis-a-vis various countries of the world. One of the most suitable examples, if I would like to discuss, is India's relationship on the one hand with Israel and on the other hand with Arab countries in general and Palestine in particular. See, both these countries, Arab countries especially, and Israel, both these countries have been very important or critical so far as India's national interest is concerned. Why I am taking Arab countries here? Because India-Palestine relationship, or the scope or the depth of the India and Palestine relationship, has always been a very important factor so far as our relations with Arab countries are concerned. If I discuss some of the important factors which makes Arab countries important for our national interest, is our huge dependence on energy needs, meeting our energy needs from Arab countries. Apart from that, it's more than 7 million workers who are working in Gulf countries, Arab countries, and they send every year billions of remittances back to their country, India, which is very crucial so far as our national development is concerned. And Israel, on the other hand, has become a very crucial country or very strategic country, I would say, in the last couple of decades, especially in last 3 decades. Especially if we whether it's a area of our fight against terrorism, Israel has become a very important ally. Apart from that, Israel has emerged one of the most important country for exporting arms and ammunition to India. And India is one of the largest arms importer country of arms and ammunition from Israel. Apart from that, our cooperation in the areas of space, intelligence sharing, agriculture, water management, etc., has been very crucial and very important. So India in the last couple of years has been successfully able to navigate between these two countries and has been able to maintain equidistance and secure its national interest. Some of the incidents which I would like to discuss here, which will suggest that how India maintains its independent relationship, and it's a kind of walking on the tightrope, especially when we talk about Israel and Palestine. Our relations with Israel and Palestine is concerned. See, though India supports just Palestinian cause at the level of United Nations, and India gives its commitment also to the two-state solution also between India and between Palestine and Israel. But at the same time, India also opposes any violence unleashed or any action of Hamas against Israeli authorities or Israeli cities, and also therefore proposes resumption of talks between Israel and Palestine. Some of the most important developments in the recent past which defines or underscores India's successful de-hyphenation policy, I would like to mention those incidents. First of all, recently in 2015, India's voting pattern has undergone a major or significant shift. Initially, when India used to generally vote against Israel, now in a current scenario or in a present situation, India generally, when it comes to the Israel-Palestinian issue, India generally abstained on those issues. Similarly, I can recall an incident in July 2015 when India preferred to abstain from voting on a resolution against Israel, which condemning it against the alleged war crimes in Gaza Strip in 2014. So these are some of the developments which clearly manifest India's the successful implementation of or effective implementation of the policy of de-hyphenation by Indian foreign policy establishment. Not only with India's de-hyphenation policy in the context of Israel-Palestinian issue or conflict, but there are some other relations also, when India has successfully been able to navigate between two countries and has been able to achieve its national interests. Whether it's a balanced relationship with Iran on the one hand and United States of America. And most recently, the most glaring example is, especially in the wake of Ukrainian war, India's relationship with the United States of America and West on the one hand, and on the other hand, Russia. See, India's faced a lot of diplomatic challenge, especially in the wake of Ukrainian war, to maintain its de-hyphenation policy, but it maintained or it followed a very balanced or equidistant relationship with United States of America and Russia, which is a very long trusted friend, or with which we have a very long trusted partnership, and has been largely able to secure its national interest. Thank you.